So hi everyone, welcome to Boss Talks. I'm here with Jocelyn today.
Hey.
Hey Jocelyn, well thanks for being here with us. Can you go ahead and give us a little bit introduction to you? Tell us a brief overview about yourself.
Got you. So my name is Jocelyn. I'm a music manager. I own the company, the PressPlay Agency. So we handle marketing services for a lot of different up and coming artists, a lot of different independent labels and larger labels. And then we handle a lot of different events in New York. We kind of have our pulse on a lot of different things that are going on in the music scene. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Awesome. And how did you get started as a music manager and an entrepreneur CEO?
Mm-hmm. Well, so I'll try to give you the shorter answer. Like I try to condense it every time I tell it, but I'll try. So basically I started off as a blogger. So in college I was blogging for a lot of different like hip hop sites, just doing like mainstream news and stuff like that. I threw my first bigger show February of I think 2017. Yeah, I graduated in 2017 in December. So yeah, 2017 February. So I threw a big show at this place in Long Island City. A lot of people came, and I invited a lot of the A&Rs and people that I've been messaging, through my time in college. Most of them showed up, if not all of them. So we had like different executives from like Atlantic Records, Empire, 300, stuff like that. They all came because like I've been talking to them for a little bit about stuff I've been going on. They're like, okay, let's see, what you got, whatever. So they came to the show. Found a lot of artists, it was really cool. So that kind of like catapulted, I guess, like my career, I would say. So from that event, I started managing my first artist group by the name of Gangtivity. Then I started doing a lot more PR and marketing. I started doing freelance projects over at Shady Records. So basically doing like PR for them and consulting for artists and stuff. I started working with a lot of different other labels on like the freelance end because they kind of realized like I kind of had a lot of the New York artists, I kind of had my hand on what was going on. So they kind of needed me to help out on different projects. So that's how I learned about the freelance world and like consulting and whatever that looked like. So then I realized, I needed a company for them to, pay me through really. So I started that. And it just kind of started growing. I started managing Don Q first, started managing Chef, then Sleepy, then a bunch of other artists started coming to me. But between that, there's always been like tons of artists from different labels that signed, unsigned, that have worked with us. So yeah, my roster got pretty big.
Wow, nice.
I did it quick this time. I usually drag it out.
Really? No, that was good. That was like
Yeah.
perfect. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like you gave us a lot of info about you, a lot of background. So do you
Mm-hmm.
still, sans COVID and stuff, do you still put on like shows in New York? Are you into like the live scene still?
Not really. I'm thinking about it. I want to do it, but I want to make sure it's safe and it's the right situation because it is serious. I know a lot of people are throwing events and stuff, but I don't know. Like, I visit my mom a lot. I'm around her and stuff like that, so I don't want anything to happen. So yeah, it's not really about me and people who are younger with stronger immune systems and stuff. So that's just along with the answer. But I want to. It just has to make sense and be safe. So.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with that too, for sure. And you're from New York, right? Born and raised?
Yeah, Brooklyn.
That's why you're so tapped into the city, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So what has been one of your favorite career moments so far?
Um, I would say okay. So probably last year before that, the years just go by fast now. But I was invited to this dinner. So there's this brand that has this like dinner series that they do for different big executives in the music industry. So that one they did for Lanray, which is really it's called Our Table Dinners. So it was really cool. And basically, my friend was the photographer at the time, so he was able to give me a seat at the table. And it's like it's one of those things like a seat at the table, but
Yeah.
it really was that like every big music executive in New York that's a female was there. And at the time I was a lot newer on the scene and stuff like that, but the fact that I was there was like a big moment for me because I got to meet so it was a funny story. Basically after the dinner was done, I posted up pictures of everybody. I was just happy to be there, whatever. And I was tagging the real big women that I met and stuff. I tagged this one woman named Therese, and it was like Mother's Day the next day or whatever. So I put up a picture of my mother, and she DM'd me. She was like, "That's your mother?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Hey, cousin." So now she's the yeah, right. She's the head of A&R at Def Jam. Like, she does all that stuff. So we ended up linking up. But ironically, prior to that, like, my mentor who got me my first position over at Shady Records doing freelance work for him, when they merged with Def Jam, he was like, "Yo, you remind me of my boss, my new boss. You really remind me of her." And that was her. So, right. So that's like a bunch of little moments, but
yeah,
that's really what happened. So those are my favorite. That was my favorite chain of events, I would say.
right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. It's really
Yeah.
serendipitous. Cool.
Mm,
So you've had
yeah.
you've had a lot of like nice wins like that in your career, Jocelyn, but what have been some challenges that you've had to overcome?
At the beginning, well, no, throughout the whole kind of my time so far, like, I've been dealing with like a lot of like, like, I started up doing what I was doing I graduated college at like 22. So I really started everything at 22. I didn't really get a job. I didn't get a job at all after college. I just decided I was going to do this. Like, I remember my group chat with my friends. I was like, girl, I'm not getting a job, because one of them graduated 6 months before me and the other one graduated 6 months after me. So they were like, okay, like, if that's what you're going to do. One of my friends like, you crazy. Like, you don't understand. It's really hard out here, whatever. I'm like, I'm going to figure it out. Like, it's whatever. So I would say just kind of being young, like, I didn't really know, like, I was just like, fresh out of college. I was just happy to be in a lot of situations. So a lot of people kind of took advantage of that. But I always looked at it as a learning experience, because I got to do a lot of things, like a lot of, like, people say to work for free or whatever. And some people look at it as a negative. But like, a lot of situations I was put in where I worked for free, but I could have made money if I had known how I was supposed to move in those situations. So, like, people took advantage of me of my age, being a girl, like, like, I don't really look that old, so people always kind of like, oh, little girl. And I don't really like, I'm just myself. So people kind of take advantage of that. So that kind of sucks. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm earning my stripes now. So it's kind of hard to walk all over me at this point.
Right. And how did you combat that? Like, how did you start standing up for yourself?
I just started doing my own thing, like, really doing stuff that was, like, undeniably fire. Like, you have to, like, if you want to, like, talk to me, you have to, like, come to me with, like, a proposal to partner, because it's not, like, it's too hard for you to just tell me what to do now. So it just came to the point where people were just like, oh, like, I might as well ask how I could help her or what I could provide to her situation, because, like, I can't just tell her you doing this for free. Like, it's not really going to work no more.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great, Jocelyn. So
Mm-hmm.
as a manager and just as somebody who does all these things with artists, what do you look for in artists? What are some things that draw you to the artists that you've worked with?
So I try to go after, well, I'm not even gonna say go after, because I don't really get, like, a lot of all my management situations kind of fell on my lap. Like, I didn't really like, I love the artist by itself. Like, I always just look at people and I watch and I stay around, but I don't really like be like, I'm gonna go after this type of artist or whatever. Like, I'm just around the right people and people see what I'm doing. They're like, oh, you could do this, you could handle it. So that's how I get most of my artists. But now that I'm looking for artists on my own, because I'm like, maybe I should try something different. I want to find somebody and grow and groom them, because they're not gonna be, if it doesn't fall in my lap, it's not gonna be all that I want it to be. So I'm really looking at artists that are like, have their own wave going on. Like, the truth of the matter is, in order for you to be like somebody that is like able to get big, you have to be known in your general area. Like, so I do a lot of like, like, if people come to me, wanting to work, I go and I do my own research. Like, I figure out like who they know, who they're around, all that kind of stuff. Because you have to be well known in your neighborhood. You have to be well respected, especially like in hip hop. Like, it's not gonna work if you're saying one thing and it's not true. So I look for like authenticity, I guess you could say. I look at people who have like a plan, an idea, and a direction, because like, I guess sometimes I get artists that like was signed to a major label, and they're coming to me because they want like that independent like attention and stuff like that, because they have ideas and they want to get a distribution thing. So I will go get them a distribution, and then we work as a manager. But I like artists that have a plan, like an idea, a process, what they want to see happen, whatever the case may be. Because artists that come to me just like, oh, you the manager, it's not that. Like, you have to have an idea of what you want to see happen, and I'm supposed to make it happen for you. I'm not supposed to come up with all the ideas. I'm supposed to enhance what you already have. I believe that's what managers are supposed to do. But some people just believe managers are supposed to just come up with everything, do everything. You're just supposed to just stand there. So I look for that. And that always is easy to spot out. Like, as soon as you talk to them, you can figure out if they even know what's going on, if they just want you to do everything. So there's always that. And I just look for raw talent, like, you know, stuff that's different, because right now, realistically, I feel like the New York music scene is a little dead right now. It's like, it's okay, but it's only like, really, the artist I work with is like the only hottest artist in New York, if you're really going to talk about it. Yeah. So I don't really think there's not a lot of like talent like that that's different. So if I'm looking in New York, that's what I'm looking for. Like, that, I guess I answered your question for New York alone. But like, in general, I'm just looking for like people that are like have a good, genuine care and want to get work done. Like, they want to actually do something. So
yeah, that's important in an artist, as much as talent, I feel like, right?
Yeah.
Willingness to put the work in. So Jocelyn, you are also known you started the hashtag GetAFemaleManager. What are some advantages of having a female manager? Like, why should artists seek out women as their managers?
It's so crazy that I started that, because people always write me about that. They're like, yo, okay, that hashtag, da, da, da. I'm like, that was just real. That was what it was. Like, get one. Like, what are you doing? So basically, like, a female manager is like having like women are women. Like, as much as we try to like say we this and we don't need this or whatever the case may be, like, women are like, they have a different type of outlook on things. We're a lot more caring and emotional and blah blah blah. So like, when you get a female manager, like, I hate to say it, but you really getting a mom, like, you're getting like an auntie, you're getting like a big sister. Like, you know, we're gonna care about you. Like, you know, we're not, I mean, people do what they do, you know, mixing whatever business. I don't know. But like, if you're doing it the way you should, like, you really giving them a family member. So, and a lot of guys that are out here in this music stuff, they kind of need somebody to lean on, like, emotionally. So you get that. Aside of work. And then you get somebody who's going to work real hard. Like, we are going to do the most. Like, women are going to do the most because we're just women. Like, you know, like, it's always like that. Like, girls are gonna do the schoolwork before guys, generally speaking. I'm not talking about, you know, whatever. Most of the time, the girls are gonna do the schoolwork. They're gonna finish the stuff. They're gonna talk to the teacher. They're gonna do all that stuff. And then girls, they have a way of talking. Like, they're gonna get more things done for you than a male is gonna do. But what I would say is, it's really good to have a team. Like, it's not like, it's really way better to have like a woman at the helm and then men to help her, because there's going to be situations that she's not going to be able to do because she's not a man. Like, realistically, like, I want to have this conversation the way I want to have it, but people get emotional about things. So like, women do what women do, men do what men do, in my opinion. So
yeah, no, that's great advice, Jocelyn.
Yeah.
I definitely see what you're talking about. So what advice do you have for young women who want to do things like you do, all this, you know, be an entrepreneur, be a manager, really anything that you've done in your career?
You know, it's crazy because I never even look at what I'm doing as too crazy. Like, really? It's just, no, I don't. Like, I think it's real regular and real raw, to be honest. Like, anybody could do it. Like, you just gotta figure out what you want to do. Like, if you want to interview some people, start interviewing people. Like, there's literally nothing stopping you from anything you want to do. Like, I'm not even trying to be cliche. Like, there's really nothing stopping you. Like, if you think you could be the next interview girl, start interviewing people in your neighborhood that make music. Put it out there, and if it's good, people gonna see it. If you think you could be the next hot manager, start managing some people. Just do it. Like, what is the problem? Like, especially because we got the internet. Like, what are you, dumb? Like, everybody can see you. Everybody can see you. Like, everybody. If it's good,
right,
everybody's going to see you. If it's not good, it's not going to get around. That's it. There's nothing to talk about.
it's reassuring.
For real. It's really not.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Jocelyn. Thanks for being here with us today.
But I'm sad.